In a world plagued by reboots, haunted by sequels, dominated by the same old shit, get ready for an original podcast that will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you. Starring Ginger Josh, Adam the Hare, and introducing the immortal Frank. Hold on to your butts. It's the Game Rage Movies TV Podcast.
Ooh, yeah, buddy. This is gonna be a good one. Welcome to another fine episode of the Game Rage Movies and TV Podcast. My name's Josh. I'm here today with Frank.
Hello.
And I'm also here today with a very special, amazing, wonderful, beautiful guest.
Is he sleeping on the couch or something?
He must be.
And it is someone from the wasteland itself, out there with the rad roaches and the radioactive water and the ghouls and all that craziness. Hey, quit throwing shit at me. It is, her wasteland name is Sparky, or her post-apocalyptic name is Sparky, but it's my beautiful wife, Katie.
Sup, everybody?
Clap for her, Frank.
Hello.
Oh, he's just flipping you off.
That sounds right.
Yeah, sounds right.
That's a wasteland greeting anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, so it's okay.
If it's directed at her, yes, but to you, it's a fuck you.
It's directed at her. Oh, okay. I see how it is. Anyways, before we get started and into all this stuff, you can go follow us at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, and you can follow us at Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X. And if you want to listen to the multitude of other podcasts we have that just necessarily don't talk about movies and television, you can go to our website, GameRageMagazine.com, to check out all the full menu of podcasts that we have. And additionally, you can go to find and listen to them anywhere podcasts are hosted. So, all right, with that over and out of the way, today we're going to talk about Fallout. Katie's super excited. Fallout, the TV show on Amazon Prime, but also we are going to delve into the video game realm of it as well, more than likely. So, well, Frank is. So today we're gonna do it just like we do with most of our other stuff. We're gonna do 2 episodes at a time. So we're gonna do, today is gonna be episodes 1 and 2. So, initially, let's Katie, what have you thought so far of episodes 1 and 2? Just a brief,
Did I want to go to Wasteland Weekend now?
Oh, so it just made you, did you feel it?
Made me want to go back to Wasteland so bad.
Did you feel at home watching that?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Frank, what do you think about it so far? Just a brief little thing before we get into the delving of the...
Well, it's harder for me to break it down since I actually seen the entirety.
Okay.
But luckily I did rewatch the first episodes last week.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like someone said it best. The first couple of episodes of this hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I disagree with the people that said the second half of that quote, who think that the show after episode 4, which is where you guys are at.
We're on 5. We just finished 5.
Okay.
No, we just finished 4.
Did we just finish 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
People say that after 4, the series takes a dive.
Huh. Interesting. I've been trying to stay away.
As someone who has seen the entirety,
yeah.
They're not just wrong, they're stupid.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tell them like it is.
Hopefully, when we get to episodes 5 and 6, I'd be interested to see what we all think. Well, what at least Katie and I think, because we obviously know how you feel about the whole thing.
I honestly believe this is probably one of, if not the best, video game adaptation out there.
Oh, it's fucking incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
It's definitely not Halo.
Yeah, true. It's definitely not Halo. And one of the things that's cool about this series is that it's an original story set in the Wasteland or the Fallout universe, right?
As far as the timeline is concerned, it is the furthest in the timeline.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the timeline, right? Well,
there's no
so
end.
far. Well, it's like the furthest out from the actual D-Day, not D-Day, or what was it called when?
So the earliest point of the games take place is Fallout 4, because you take place for the first couple minutes. You're in the pre-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
you're there when the bombs drop.
Right,
and that's in the year 2077.
Yeah,
but the actual game where it takes place, the most previous is Fallout 76.
Yeah,
which is 2102.
Right.
Do we know what year this one is based off of?
Yeah, it's at the end. Okay, well, technically,
I'll give you the answer. I have it right here.
So at the beginning,
96.
Yeah, 2296. So it's like 200 something years. It's like 225 years, 220 something years after the bombs dropped.
Got it.
Which at the beginning of the show, that's what we get introduced to, is we see Walton Goggins' character, the cowboy, I guess is how he's referred. Cooper, yeah. Cooper Howard,
the ghoul,
drool. And so he literally is.
You know they don't have penises, right?
The what?
You know they don't have genitalia, right?
I can still look at him. He's still pretty. I can appreciate beauty, whether it's a vagina or a penis or a nothing.
Sure.
Beauty is beauty.
So do you think, since his nose is like the ghoul's nose are off, do you think that like their dicks fall off too? Is that?
Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not that they don't have genitalia; they can't reproduce. That's sorry.
Well, even better. I don't want no more babies.
Yeah, because they're basically a zombie, right?
No, there's the feral ghouls. Those are zombies.
Yeah, but like, other than they have their faculties, but they're like a zombie where they're just dead, right?
No, their bodies are fully alive. They're pumping, everything's, and it's not self-regenerating, but they're just alive. It's just that radiation is what's keeping them alive.
Oh,
that's why there are ghouls that are from the pre-apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, he's one of them, obviously. There's ghouls from then, and then there's even new ghouls being made. That's why. In that factory. Well, we'll get to that in later one of the episodes, but they have like a little factory where they're like making ghouls or whatever.
Really?
Huh?
Yeah. Remember with those two guys? It's like in episode 4.
No, those were just ferals.
Yeah, they were just kidnapping.
No, some of them were feral, but I think that what they were doing was they were harvesting their organs and then they were turning them into ghouls, and then they were keeping them captive.
No, they were. Well, maybe I'm not gonna say no, but the people they were harvesting were actual humans,
right? And then they were just turning them into
ghoul
ghouls.
Organs won't work on a human. If anything, that's gonna kill a human.
All right. Well, you remember when he's bringing her there? I guess this is more of a conversation for the next episode, but just since we're talking about it now, when he's bringing her there, he tells her, "Oh, you are me. You just don't know it yet."
He meant like emotionally and mentally.
No. I think he meant like because he was taking her there.
I don't.
All right, whatever. We'll talk deeper into that when we get into 3 and 4.
As someone who's seen the entirety of the series, you're dumb.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen.
As someone who has seen the entirety of the series and knows the Fallout lore, you're dumb.
Think about it more metaphorically speaking than actual physical black and white.
I will say this. The one thing I will say is that going forward, this show's all going to be all about metaphors.
Metaphors. All right.
Not just metaphors, but symbolism as well.
Yeah. All right. So starting off, we get the Cooper Howard in the pre-bomb drop time. 2077. And basically he's there with his daughter.
Can I just say something before we do?
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be a factor, so it didn't surprise me, but it just made me happy for it to actually have been true.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they did an amazing job with the fucking music.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things.
That yodeling. Whenever the ghoul shows up and they have that little yodeling in the background.
It reminded me of the that whistle for the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Every time he's on scene.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of is that I think the game is called like Silent Hill, and like the radio starts playing if you start.
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah,
and like the radio starts playing when you're getting closer to the little fucked up beings. It kind of reminds me of them. Like every time he's near, you hear like that distant yodeling in the background.
Yeah, one of the things that
they made a really cool version of that. It's not a Silent Hill property, but it was inspired by Silent Hill. But it said it's your mic.
Ooh.
So you have to play with the mic, and if you even make a yeep or a little noise and your mic picks it up, the monster can find you easier. So it's funny because whenever it scares you, what's the first thing people do? They scream.
So make some kind of a noise.
You scream.
Or like a
Yeah.
So, anyways, the sound design for this has been very good. Even when they're out in the wasteland walking around,
It's dirty.
It sounds dirty.
It's a dirty audio. Yeah.
Like it's so good, man. It's so good. So, anyways,
It's really the attention to detail that's impressive.
yeah, and I think
this is about the second Amazon Prime thing that we're watching, that we're reviewing.
yes. What was the first thing that we did?
Has Been Hotel.
Oh yeah, technically that was an Amazon Prime.
I mean, technically, it's
Well, they didn't make it though. Didn't they make this?
no, it's I think it's another studio that made it that licensed it through Amazon.
Interesting. Well, Amazon so far seems to have a good eye
Yeah.
for stuff.
Well, there's one that you still haven't watched it, but Jack Reacher's freaking amazing too.
Oh yeah, we watched a couple episodes of that.
I watched the entirety of the series. It's fucking great.
That might be one we'll have to do later on. Anyways, so we start off in 2077. Cooper is there. It's old boy Walton Goggins from The Walking Dead, and basically
Any bad guy.
any bad guy in any show. Essentially, there he is.
Was he also in prison? No, that was somebody else.
He was on Justified too. He was the bad guy. in
Justified. I loved him in that.
Yeah, that was a great show, man. Justified. But anyway, so he's there with his daughter. They're doing this birthday party because he's clearly like some kind of fallen off celebrity or whatever.
I wish I could answer that.
And because you see in the next couple episodes, well, we'll get to that. But basically, he's some kind of a actor or something, and he's doing this birthday party to get fucking money, right? Or they're paying him or whatever. So they're there. They do the party. The adults are kind of treating him like shit. Like there's some kind of stigma about him.
Backstory. I heard him say something about like, he has to do it for the alimony money. So obviously he and his wife.
I wish I could talk.
No, you can't. We gotta wait till we get to those
spoilers.
episodes. All right.
But if I can make thing, there's one thing that I really liked was the scene with his daughter, where she's picking up on this. She's realizing something's not right. People are saying stuff about him,
Right.
and they're talking about the thing, and then you see the moment where he realizes that, okay, my daughter's not dumb.
Right.
And so he throws her, he recognizes it and treats her with the respect of what her intelligence was. And like, he gave in and taught her the thumb trick.
Right.
Because he recognized that she's picking up on it. She's not dumb. So she needs to treat her with that level of respect. And so he gave in and taught her the thumb trick.
Yeah, which was funny when he says it because it's like, if there's a big explosion, you put your thumb out, and if the explosion is smaller than your thumb, you'll be okay. And then she's like,
30 seconds later.
well, no, and then she's like, well, what do you do? What do you do if, or no, it's just to head for the hills if it's smaller than you. And she says, what do you do if it's bigger than your thumb? And then he's like, oh, you don't even need to bother running then anyway.
There's no point.
And so
30 seconds later.
yeah, like literally 30 seconds later, after he goes inside to get her a piece of cake, she's literally just standing there doing this. And then you're like,
is it your thumb or my thumb?
yeah, is it yours or mine? And then he's like, huh? And then he looks and sees in the distance
it's
the
just
city.
a fire.
He's like, oh, no, it's just a fire.
And it just gets bigger.
And it just gets bigger and bigger. And then he sees the other one go off. There's another nuke that goes off.
Well, no, that was after they ran.
Right. But then, man, when that pan out shot that they did on that
and you
hill.
see all the bombs just.
I realized the scale of the attack or whatever, I knew of it, but I didn't realize until you see it, right? Like that.
Yeah, because you got to remember right now, at that moment, the United States is currently in war with China.
Yeah.
Anchorage or Alaska is where the front is, which is weird because China's on the other side of the world. But the reason why you see the signs of it because people are freaking out, they're talking about it. You even see the mom change the channel when the kids turn on the TV and stuff.
Right, because they're alluding to nuclear war is about to happen or whatever.
I mean, that fucking news reporter said it best. He goes, "Why am I doing the weather? I don't even know there's going to be a tomorrow."
Yeah.
Well, can we just talk about the fact that I remember the little girl sitting out there and looking at it, and he's standing there and staring at it, and everybody in the party apparently has no fucking idea what's happening.
Well, remember,
wouldn't it be loud?
It's that's over like 70, 80 miles an hour.
You got to remember, light travels faster than sound, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna see it
way before
because remember
you saw the sound. You saw the sound wave, the shock wave.
Right.
So that's where the sound is at the shock wave. It's traveling basically at the speed of the sound. So once the barrier, and remember, because it breaks all the windows and shit.
Right.
So once that happens, then you can hear it.
Right.
And then they're like, oh shit, everybody's like, what the fuck? And then everybody looks, and then they see this giant ass
I guess
mushroom
that's
cloud.
the part that like freaked me out. And like the very beginning is like, shit, you could just be sitting there and literally have no idea what's happening.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
right
you'll
below
No,
you.
at least those people got a chance to be scared. The people where the bomb went off, they didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, you're just dead. You just cease to exist.
Now,
basically.
what would you prefer? Would you prefer to see all of that destruction happening and knowing you have to run for your life and
In
try
real
your
life or in
best?
the Fallout
No,
world?
in real life.
In real life, yeah, add the bomb drop on me because there's no survival.
Right.
The other hand is a slow, painful death. But if it's in the Fallout universe, hey, there's a 10% chance I become a ghoul.
I mean, that's true.
true.
And in real life, though, honestly, I would like to like that shot that they did where when they panned out when they were running down the hill on the horse.
Well, just to have one last view.
And you see that all those. I would love to see that. If I'm going to die anyways, I'd like to at least see that before I die. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But can you imagine being in that situation with your kid?
oh
I
yeah,
can't even
that would be
imagine
horrendous
what was going through his mind.
Yeah, you can't explain that to them. Like, we're dead. Like, this is it. Like, you
Right.
can't even tell them that. You just have to
Well,
keep it
and
to
then
yourself.
when people are running to the vault, people are pushing each other out saying there's not enough room. I'm like, fuck you. You sit on each other's laps. Like, get the fuck over
well,
here.
it's not just that.
Not
it's
just that,
food.
supplies.
It's the food supply.
But still.
Well, people are
remember,
assholes.
Well, you gotta remember, the thing about the vaults is they were not there to save lives. The vaults were there for experiments.
Yeah.
There's no vault that was not meant. Every vault was meant to be an experiment that can do without punishment.
Right.
So
It just so happened as a byproduct of that, the vault
that's how they
dwellers-
sold it. It was saying,
Yeah.
hey, you're gonna be safe. Like,
Yeah.
was it Vault 113 or whatever? I can't remember what it was. There's 113 and 114, I think it was. Where 113, it was filled with nothing but females and one male. Or the other one, it was the opposite, where it was nothing but males and one female. And it's funny, in both vaults, the one lone gender became slave. But in the female one, the vault still ran. In the male one, it turned into an apocalyptic hellscape.
I mean, that sounds realistic. So
Yeah. But in both scenarios, both genders became slave.
that's weird.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Power to the pussy.
Oh, it's okay when you guys are the slave masters. Oh, I see how it is. So, anyways, so yeah, that shot when they pan out is just cool as shit. Seeing all these nukes being dropped on LA and everything just, and they are close together too.
As people who live in California, that's a sight we all want to see.
I think people across the world would like to see that, not just us here.
I hate LA so much.
Yeah, I think everyone except even people in LA probably would like to see that. So after we have that, it fast forwards to, and that's one of the other things I wanted to say real quick about not credits, but where the intro bumper is, where it shows the name of the show. Every single episode, it's different and related to what just happened in the intro. That is so fucking cool, man. That's just something that's a nice touch that like they didn't have to do. You could have just done the normal bullshit that every other show does, and you just have the same shit, the same bumper every single time, but doing it different to affect, and it's affected by what's on the screen. That is a cool touch. And that's just another one of the amazing things about the show in general, I think. And yes, I'm going to jerk the show off like the entire time, every episode. So don't think anything otherwise. All right.
I mean, you know what also was great about this?
What?
Like, I was just thinking about it right now, is the casting.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was perfect in their role. And like, it was even fucking, what's his name? I hate the guy, but he was perfect for Lord Titus as Michael Rampart.
Oh yeah.
He was perfect for that.
Yeah, he was, because he's a fucking dick and he's
Yeah.
a whiner. And the guy who is the Titus, which we're
Lord
going to get
Titus.
to, Lord Titus,
The actual actor that plays him is known
Michael
for being
Rappaport.
just,
Oh, really?
He's just an incorrigible prick, basically. Like,
even
how
Barstool
funny.
Media fired him.
yeah,
Shit.
because he's just a prick.
Well,
And-
side note, just to talk about casting, this a little side thing. I mean, I think one of the first things I told Joshua when we were watching it is I love how many POCs are in it. Because especially in the post-apocalyptic genre.
And what's a POC for people that are uninformed?
person of color?
Okay, all right. I just wanted to.
I feel like especially in the post-apocalyptic drama, it's a white dude thing.
Well, you can't give the show that kind of flowers because Fallout itself isn't white people only.
Right.
The game itself has always been multicultural because it always showed every aspect. So I get
Well,
what you're
regardless of
saying.
where it came from, I'm happy
I
that
get what
it's
you're
there.
saying, but like the game might
Accolades are due where they're due. Like I personally like watching it and not seeing just this average white person in there. Like I like seeing the POCs. I like seeing a lot of women. I like it. And I like that they also didn't overly sexualize Lucy.
just
Usually
that
when
one
they're,
scene.
well,
yeah, but
besides the sex scene.
that was the point of the scene, I guess.
But-
but no, even so. All right, I said this to you, Katie, when that sex scene happens, which we'll get to in a minute. But I said, how come she's fully clothed and we see this guy's balls hanging between his legs? Like, what is the deal with this?
Because they set up that scene where, because that whole scene was just, I don't know why, but the second those guys came in, I knew they were raiders.
They were
I
dirty
knew,
as fuck. You could see it, like
but they were trying to show his mannerisms. Like after they were done, he went up.
he just wiped his dick on the curtain. It's fucking hilarious.
I was like, dude, he's literally everything he was doing was like Raider.
Yeah.
At this point, you deserve to die,
okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know they were Raiders.
huh?
I didn't know they
you didn't know they were raiders?
No.
You didn't notice that everybody was dirty and
They had
tatted
their hair,
hair.
like their hair was all weird. And
They
then,
were tatted
like there
up.
were dudes missing teeth and shit, and like the tats, and they just looked
Okay,
grimy.
my post-apocalyptic experience is Wasteland Weekend, and all the Raiders there are super nice. So I
Okay.
wasn't thinking about it.
But you got to
but
think about
okay,
it.
To be fair, this isn't based on Wasteland Weekend. This is
I
based off of
understand,
Fallout.
but that's my
That's true.
post-apocalyptic genre know-how. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is most action, quote unquote, movies or anything with a heroine in it, they over-sexualize the fuck out of them. How many of you seen where they're running down the street in high heels and their tits are falling out?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they made her just a badass. No, like a badass.
She was
Well,
dumb.
she's obviously a vault dweller. She knows no different.
Yeah,
I
vault
like that
dwellers
they
are
played
just
into her
stupid, eh?
naivety.
Well, in the
but I like
actual-
that they didn't over sexualize her. I think that's a really cool casting.
Yeah, and you know what's odd is if you look at another female powerful lead casting in the Mad Max,
Right.
in Furiosa, and in the whatever the hell the other one, what was that one before that called?
Fury Road.
Yeah, Fury Road. I mean, Charlize Theron, who has been sexualized as a character in most things, was not sexualized in that, and really they didn't sexualize Anna. What's her name? Anya Taylor Swift, something, I don't know. Anya Taylor-Joy, maybe. Yeah, they didn't really sexualize her in that movie either. So it's funny how the post-apocalyptic genre seems to be the least sexualizing of women
Right.
that are in power roles.
Don't watch Tank Girl.
That was from like 93. You can't.
So was Mad Max.
No, I'm talking about the current ones. I'm talking about the current
I'm
ones.
just
You
trying
said-
to say something
I
positive
said
here. Stop
Fury
trying to turn it
Road and
negative.
Furiosa. Those are the two I said.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I said the modern post-apocalyptic genre seems to be like the least in sexualizing women, which is ironic because you would think in an apocalypse situation,
They
women
would be
would
the
just
most
become
sexualized,
sexualized objects and that's it.
Well, like a Morton Joe's woman. Yeah.
Like
Or
who?
the breeders.
The Morton Joes.
Oh, yeah.
The
there you
breeders
go.
and the
Yeah.
milkers. Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's like, it would just be all that.
Right. So I'm just trying to say I think that was
Yeah.
a really cool like casting or whatever directing note. I liked that aspect of it.
Yeah.
This show didn't really focus on sexualization at all, though. Really,
No.
No, there really hasn't been a lot of that at all.
The only sexualization, ironically, was Lucy with the sex scene and that one scene with her in her bra. That was like,
Yeah.
But
that
it
was it.
wasn't. Yeah.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah. And I like also
Oh
that.
wait, no, never mind. I take it back.
Oh,
don't
is there
tell
one
us
later on?
Yeah.
But I also like that the POCs are also people in charge. You know, like there's one that's like high up, like two of them that are high up in the council. It's not just like background characters.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
I'll have to plead the fifth on that one.
He says that there's something happens that later. We're
well,
going to
as
see
of
it.
right now. Let me be positive and enjoy it. Damn it,
Well, man,
I have to say my piece too.
yeah, when we get there. We ain't there yet.
we ain't
all
there
right?
yet. Let me enjoy my positivity.
So, anyways, after this, it cuts to 219 years later, Vault 33. And you've got Lucy being introduced, who is essentially, for all intents and purposes, the main character of the show, right? And she's a Vault dweller.
One of them.
She's probably, she's one of the main protagonists. Let's
Yeah,
just
you
say
go,
that.
protagonist. Yeah,
She's one of the main protagonists of the show.
which is funny because one of the other protagonists is her antagonist.
Yeah. True. So, so she comes in and they're discussing her having this arranged marriage with some vault dweller from one of the other vaults, 32. And they kind of delve a little bit into the explanation of this vault's set of experiments, right? where you've got these 3 vaults in this triangle, and it's like 3 vaults, 1 mission or whatever is like their thing. It's 31, 32, and 33 is the 3 vaults. And so you know that there's these vaults that are somehow interconnected. And again, knowing that the vaults are just specifically for experiments, we're kind of seeing, okay, what is this experiment getting at? Essentially, is it interconnecting with individual societies that have been allowed to form on their own, and then you let them kind of interact and trade with each other a little bit? Is it one of those things? Who knows what the original experiment was, but that's kind of what it's seeming like. So basically, they have a deal where if they need a breeder, and it's funny because she's talking with the gatekeeper. I forget what his name is, but he basically is like, "Huh, Lucy, I love you." And then she's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, you know, but we're cousins. Like, it's not really a sustainable breeding practice or whatever is to fuck your cousins essentially." And so he's all bummed out and he's sad as hell because his cousin's getting married. And the one other chick that's already pregnant, she's like saying like, "Oh man, after cousin stuff, like for whatever, however many years, I'm just excited for the real thing."
That was Lucy.
That's what I'm saying. Like she was talking to her in a conversation, and that's when Lucy says like, "Oh, I'm just so excited for
cousin stuff.
No, cousin stuff to be over. Like I've only ever experienced cousin stuff," which I'm just like, "Oh my god." So then we get into, you know, her dad's in charge of the vault. He's the overseer of the vault. She's got a brother, a younger brother. I think his name is
no, the actual actor.
Oh,
because that guy's a great actor.
Yeah,
too.
he is a great actor. So basically, we go through that. We get to where now Vault 32 is being, their little, I don't know, what is it called? Like dock door is being opened. It's like the
conduit.
Yeah, the conduit is being opened, and they come in, right? And obviously, as we kind of talked, Frank and I immediately knew that the second they walked in the door, I was like, these motherfuckers are going to kill everybody.
I thought they were shady.
And you know what's funny?
I didn't know they were raiders.
It's likely because me and Frank, because of our years of playing these games, are so distrustful of people that like when one little thing is off, because that's kind of how it is in the games. You can tell a lot about a character and you can infer if they're going to help you or fuck you just based on their appearance alone sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like
if they're wearing, like, you know, off the bat, if they're wearing Brotherhood of Steel, they're not good people.
Oh yeah, they're going to kill you. Like they're only in it for themselves. Yeah, in the games. And so when they walk in, I'm like, oh dude, they are here to fuck shit up. And I don't know how, but these people don't look good because you can see them standing next to each other, and it's really cool the contrast that they did of
they kept them in the dark,
super clean cut, like the clean cut
of Vault 33,
and they were in the light, and they were in the light. And then the 32 people were very dingy looking, but they were all in the dark portion of the thing because they came from darkness. Right. It wasn't lit up and bright like it was here. And it's funny because that you can see the dad, his face. As soon as they open the door, he knows something is off. He doesn't. I don't think he realizes what it is yet, but he knows something is off. And essentially, they have this little fake wedding. And we get to the, you know...
Hey, it was real to them.
Right, yeah. We get to the immediate fucking, as they say.
What's your sperm count?
Yeah, she was asking him at the dinner table, like, what his sperm count was. And he, oh, your vault doctor. And that was another indicator to me. I'm like, wait a minute. How does he not know what his sperm count is? Because they should know. They should be just... If they're all in 3 sinks together, they should be doing shit basically the same. So... How does he not know his fucking... And then another thing that really set it off for me was when... I don't know, maybe you didn't notice this, but when they were eating, the 32 people... Wait, the 32 came over, right?
Yeah.
32 people. They were eating with their hands. They weren't using utensils.
Well, I don't know. I just thought they weren't as classy as 33.
You know what's funny is that just shows how innocent you are. Like, you're just so innocent. And I love that. Like, I love that about you.
Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Me and Frank were immediately figuring out where are all the exits? How many of these people can I kill before they take me out?
Like, look how silly. She's asking about his sperm count.
Yeah. And then Katie's like, yeah, I wonder what his sperm count is. God damn it. I want to know. I hope they have good babies together.
I hope their babies are beautiful.
Yeah. And so then they get to fucking...
Well, you know what's funny too was the whole... where he was giving that whole speech, the dad, and he's telling them, hey, Lucy and whatever his fucking name was, your kids are going to be the generation that'll be ready to go out.
Yeah.
But it's funny, Fallout 76, which is the first one in the timeline, they were already being sent out to do their fucking missions.
Yeah, exactly. Which is funny. It just shows how disconnected the vaults are from each other, you know?
But then again, they were never meant to be.
That's true. And so basically, after they get done fucking, it turns out that the raid begins. And the raiders of Vault 32 show their true colors and they start fucking killing everybody. And Lucy is no exception to this. She realizes what's going on and she starts fucking fighting.
And she got stabbed.
And she got fucking stabbed in the abdomen, like straight in there. And I don't know, this was one of the coolest scenes.
Oh, with the blender?
Oh yeah, when she breaks off the fucking thing and just cuts his throat with it. And then
but she didn't double tap.
Yep, she fucked up. She didn't double tap him. But he comes back in the end, or not in the end, but later on, and he's still alive, and he tries to fucking get her, but her dad has that fucking what is it, like a shovel or something?
Some shit, yeah.
And he just fucking clocks the dude.
When he looks at her too, like right after the sex scene, he goes, "It was still the best night of my life." And I was like, "You're fucked up, dude."
Yeah.
Hey, at least, but then daddy drowned him.
True, yeah. And then he drowned him in that fucking
the Bobby for Apples pit.
Yeah, the Apples pit.
Oh yeah.
So then Prego chick, I forget her name, she literally is missing an eye. She gets stabbed in the eye with a fucking fork. People are getting shot. People are getting fucking chainsawed. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Interject. One of the things, again, I mentioned this before in one of the anime podcasts, but I mentioned this in one of the anime podcasts. This really reminded me of that Dark and the Black scene, where it's a society where crime is almost non-existent because of they have sensors that can detect your brainwaves and determine, oh, you're about to become homicidal, and they call in the special police to come and get you. Mm-hmm. And they even have guns that do it for them. And there's a scene where there's these special types of people that can, who brainwaves aren't projected, so they can't be detected. Mm-hmm. They're sociopaths.
Right.
So the machine can't detect people who are so far gone where the brainwaves are just no, because they don't see it as good as an evil. They just see it as being themselves. Mm-hmm. So the machine can't detect them, and they're able to do horrendous things. And in one scene, this guy just walks up to a chick, just grabs her, stabs her in the throat, and just starts stomping on her, and and everybody around them is just like, what's going on? Take a picture, like, wow, that's a unique, like, nobody's freaking out, nobody's scared, because they don't know what's going on. They don't understand what's going on in front of them.
Right, yeah.
And to me, when I saw the whole raid thing, I'm like, they showed with Lucy. She trained with guns. She trained in martial arts. They have Vault-Tec security systems set up.
Yeah.
These people know how to fight. They've been trained to fight. It's part of their exercises. Yet nobody was able to do shit because they're so in their mindset that they couldn't defend themselves.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this would never happen to me.
Yeah.
Or us, so we don't need to be.
Even though they were trained. They were trained. Yeah. And then even to show even more to her naivete, whatever you want.
Naivete.
She went to the armory, and what did she grab? Trank guns.
Yeah, trank guns. Not even fucking. She didn't grab any real guns.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they have that. Basically, Hank. That's his name. Hank McClane. That's her dad's name. So basically, they get to this point where they're fighting back, but then Moldaver, as we come to find out, is her name. Moldaver? Lee Moldaver?
It was like Maderva or something like that.
No, it's Moldaver. That's her name.
No, the way they said in the show is different.
No, it's Moldaver. That's how it's said. You're not gonna. I know. I just watched it. Like it's Moldaver.
It's Moldaver.
It's Moldaver. Yeah. Maybe you just heard wrong. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyways, did you have the subtitles on?
Huh?
Did you have the subtitles on?
No.
Did you have it in like a different language?
If I don't have the subtitles on, why would it be in a different language?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Maybe you're watching it in Chinese or something.
Because I'm partially deaf, so
that's true. And it's really loud. We have to have it really loud too. So I mean, I get to hear everything. But anyways, yeah. So Moldaver, who's the leader of the Raiders, she basically throws down and says, "All right, motherfucker, you got two choices. I set up these bombs here. Either they can live, or she can live."
They meaning a bunch of the dwellers.
Yeah, a bunch of the vault dwellers that were still alive. A bunch
including
of the Vault 33 guys.
Only one girl.
I wish I could point something out right now that my second time watching this. I noticed something fucking crucial about the people that were there. But I just can't say it.
Oh, okay, all right. Because it comes into play later.
Yeah.
Save it for when we come later.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember. That's why I'm just
all right.
Write a note in your phone.
Yeah, write a note in your notes.
That's why I'm saying it right now, so I can at least say I said something.
Yeah, true. All right. So then she goes out. He says, "Fuck. All right, whatever." He saves Lucy. He throws her in the thing.
Which was a pull.
In the end, it was pointless.
Everybody lived.
Yeah, no one died from the explosion. So
Well, Hank got taken, but still.
right. So he says, "Fuck it, take me. I'll go." So they go. He goes with them. They take him, and then the bombs go off. All the others run. They live. Lucy's in the whatever that door, fucking storage room or whatever. She lives, and so that is when she says after they leave and everybody's starting to clean up. They're having this little town hall meeting. Oh, go ahead.
What they wanted to say too is like I had the biggest, dumbest smile on my face when she first used the stem pack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh, that's great. It's the first time we get to see that in media.
Yeah, you get to see it like used in and not in the
Here's
video.
that remote right there. Thank you.
Well, because in the video games, all you see is just
No, we can't turn that on. So, sorry.
I just want to put on for the record that he's trying to sweat me out of our house because it's hot in here, and I tried turning on a fan.
The air
Apparently, there's too
conditioning's
much
on
noise.
like 72. You want me to turn the air conditioning down even
It's
further?
hot.
All right. Well, do you have something to say? Go
I
ahead.
was saying
Yeah, I'll turn it on while you're doing it.
because until this moment, the only way you saw the stem packs was just
Right.
you just never saw. And yeah, in the game, the stem packs can heal everything.
Right.
I don't know. It was just cool. It was just a nice moment of a nice little nerd moment to finally see it in live action, I guess.
Okay, so that can I redeem myself with the Raider thing? Because that was my first thought once she got stabbed. I was like, I wonder if she's going to use a stem back. I wonder if she's going to use. Is she going to do it? Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
So I had one moment of not stupidity.
And again, maybe because Todd Howard was involved, but the stem pack looked exactly like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was cool. So then basically she decides, fuck this noise. Nobody wants to do anything. I'm going after him. So she cons the cousin fucker to go and open the door for her. Her brother comes along. And I swear to God, man, at the beginning, her brother is so useless, but we can see towards even in the episodes 3 and 4, he starts to seemingly become
He honestly, I'm going to tell you
more
now,
useful.
he becomes one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, because he has real character development. Because he goes from basically hiding in the thing in the first episode and being a coward to now in 3 and 4, he seems like he's trying to push for them to fucking go after them or do something, right? Like he's to fight back or kill these guys. So, which that's another thing we'll get into on the next episode we do. But anyways, so basically she gets them to go. He has one job. Hey, hold the elevator so they can't come up and stop us. Okay, cool. He literally 10 seconds later turns around and hears the door close and go, oh shit, I fucked up. The elevator's coming. They're coming. And she's like, fuck it, we gotta go. So she tranks cousin fucker. Because he's like, I'm gonna go with you. And she's like, yeah, I know. And then she's like, it's okay. And she stabbed it into his fucking hand. And he's like, oh no. And then he just fucking passes out.
You know what's funny? If you look up the little brother, if you look up the actual actor, it's like, because they made him look like a dweeb kind of, but you actually look at him as an actual actor, he looks like the exact opposite.
Oh, that's funny.
It's cool.
That's pretty cool. So anyway, so then she basically exits the vault and heads out. Okay.
Did you guys notice the differences in the corpses that were outside?
They
The
were
differences
more
between the
fucked up and
corpse?
They look charred.
Huh?
Oh yeah, they were all fucked up, but
There was corpses that were mummified, and there was
Yeah.
corpses that were just skeletons.
right, yeah. Implying that they died at different times.
The ones that are mummified were the ones that died in the blast.
Oh,
the ones
damn.
that were there were people trying to get into the vault that died of starvation or...
Or whatever, radiation or
This is something you always see in the Fallout games. There's always that one vault that has dead bodies all around it.
that's crazy.
Of people trying to get into... It's funny, in Fallout 3, I think it was Vault 111, that's the vault that has it. Like, it's your main vault.
Yeah. So then we get into kicking it over to the Brotherhood of Steel. And this is our first introduction to the Brotherhood. We get to see Maximus, who is a trainee.
No, he wasn't even a trainee. He was a recruit. They have a name for it. I can't remember what it was.
It's aspirant.
Aspirant.
Like he's aspiring to be a...
scribe.
So he's like a trainee, but he's kind of like it's like their boot camp, but forever
You're always in training. Even when you become a knight, there's ranks within the knights too. There's
yeah.
paladins, there's lords, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So then we get to see Maximus and who's the That's the other thing. The person who was his buddy,
Right.
is that a dude or is that a like?
I think it was supposed to be a symbolization for a trans person, but I'm not gonna
I'm
make
looking
that.
up the actor right now.
I
So
know
anyways.
I know I've seen them in other things, so
Okay. So then he's hanging out with his
he's
buddy.
getting his shit kicked in.
Yeah, he gets his shit kicked in. He's like the one that everybody likes to beat up.
Yeah.
And so you basically go and you see his friend get promoted because all the knights come back.
Well,
and
before you go to that, this is where I'm gonna get fucking nerdy.
Oh, yeah. He's a trans man. He uses he, they pronouns.
Oh, okay.
So here's
See, even better. They have people of color. They have people from the LGBTQIA community. I love that.
so this is one of the things this is the one gripe I had with the show. Because not only is this set further in the future, when they had the Pedwin come in,
Okay.
which was the blimp,
Yeah.
that's the same one from Fallout 4.
Okay.
Now, in Fallout 4, there are different paths you can take. There are different factions. There's the Railroad. There's the Minutemen, the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Institute. Now, you can choose to side with them, and going through with them, the Minutemen's the only one where you can go through the whole mission and not kill anybody. But everyone else, if you side with the Railroad, you have to kill the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute. If you side with the Brotherhood of Steel, you have to kill the Railroad and the Institute. If you side with the Institute, you got to kill everybody. Now, the Brotherhood of Steel storyline is the only one where the Pedwin doesn't get destroyed.
Okay.
So that now that the Pedwin's in the Fallout show, that means that Fallout 4 now has a canon ending. Since only the Brotherhood of Steel storyline allows the Pedwin to survive.
They only had one?
Well, yeah, that's why each one is named. And it's right here. Oh, my tablet can't do it that well, but here's the Pedwin in Fallout 4.
Yeah, okay.
So here, that's the Pedwin from Fallout 4. And then here's the one in the show, and someone even zoomed into the name.
And it says Fredwood.
Yeah. You can see the name right there.
Yeah.
Show, Pedwin. The Pedwin, whatever you want to call it. So now that means that, because me, I chose to side with the Railroad and the Minutemen. So that means my storyline choices are now non-existent. Don't get me wrong, I've done them all, but I don't know. For me, it kind of cheapens Fallout 4. That's the only gripe I really have with it, but I understand why they did it because it's a badass ship. But they could have made another ship. They could have just called it something else.
True. They could have. What is the... I wonder... Okay, so then those are like the non-canon endings then, basically. Is everything else is a non-canon
It
ending?
now
other
becomes a
than that
non-canon,
one?
and the Brotherhood of Steel is now as canon. Which means that big-ass fucking robot that hates communism is might make it in the show.
Oh, maybe. All right. So anyway, so we get his shit. Maximus gets his shit kicked in. His buddy ends up. Well, the Predwin comes along with all those little mini copter things, and they fucking drop the knights.
I was
Right?
gonna say you're about to skip the best fucking part of the episode.
What I said, they're dropping the knights, which you get to see the power armor, the vault armor,
Which
or
is
whatever.
fucking sexy as
Man,
fuck.
they did a great job on that shit. It looks so good. And so, yeah, man, the cosplays and stuff.
Compared it
Like,
to the Fallout.
yeah.
This one Fallout 4, that's the show.
Right.
yeah, it's fucking.
And it fucking
sweet.
looks amazing.
Yeah, they did a hell of a job with that. I got to give them that. And so you get to see them walking. They're just walking
Oh yeah,
or
with the
whatever.
fucking fire of the Pedwin coming out.
Yeah,
dude.
it's pretty. It was a cool ass fucking scene. So they're
thought-
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, well, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It was also funny that when they were playing basketballs, but because balls are a luxury, so they were using bricks.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
throwing bricks. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were throwing bricks into the hoop. I thought that was hilarious.
So I put down basketballs are a luxury, but not bricks.
But not bricks. Bricks are everywhere. And then he's, he finds out that basically his buddy got picked to go.
What do you guys think of Lucy's catchphrase.
Which was what?
Okie dokie.
Is that a catchphrase?
She says it every episode.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't notice that. I didn't even notice that. Anyways, so basically, this storyline is for the Brotherhood of Steel. We see all that. Maximus's buddy gets picked to be the new squire for Knight Titus, and all of a sudden, well, it sucks because he's out burning the shitters now as a result. Like, this is his punishment because he's like the worst recruit. Like, everybody hates him, and he always gets beat up. And so he basically is just out there pissed off, burning the shitters because his only friend is basically leaving. And so now he's like, fuck, whatever. So he wakes up the next morning, and what happens? They have this little somebody put a knife, or not a knife, a razor blade in their boot.
A bunch of razor blades.
So when they put their foot in, bam, fucked up. Can't go out to the battlefield now. So they grab Maximus. They fucking take his ass into the interrogation room.
And then do that. See what Titus just walking back and forth in the background while he's being interrogated. I'm like, fuck, power armor is intimidating too.
Yeah, it is. And so they're telling him they ask him basically, did you do this? And he's like, no. And he's like, but is it wrong that I wanted it to happen?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, bitch, that's weakness. And
that's
he's like,
your brother or whatever.
Yeah.
Your family.
Yeah. And so he's like, I know, and I don't want to be weak. That's when like he's like, I don't want to be weak anymore. And then they're like, all right, okay, you can take his place.
Do you think he did it?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think he did.
I do.
You think he did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he did it.
I think he did it.
Dude,
Frank can't tell us anything.
Let me say this. Do you find out if he did it or not? Okay. Man, what a great heel move it would be if he actually did do it. And then, considering what happens next in the next episode, the way he gets the armor and shit, man, what a great heel maneuver that is. Like, just to fucking, fuck this guy.
Anyway, move on.
Anyway, so he goes out. They say, hey, you're going with him. So all of his, when they're gonna leave, everybody's like out there, and he's standing there with the bag or whatever, and he's got the orders, and then the one who hates him the most.
Well, before that, what did you think of the whole? Apparently, it was a reference to the first Fallout game where they were reading off the grid for.
Oh yeah, and they were drawing the picture off.
And they're drawing the picture. Apparently, that was a reference to the first Fallout game.
Huh? Interesting.
Unfortunately, I never played the first two, which were done by oh god, I don't remember who they were. They sold off the rights to it to Bethesda, and then Bethesda made Fallout 3 and the ones we all know from that point on. And 3 is the only one I never played the one before that, because those ones are actually RTSs. Not RTSs, but like Diablo, we know where it's over the head. So I never played those two, so I can't confirm whether or not that was actually in the games. But none of the games I saw that was in there.
This is an interesting way because they don't have the communication methods of like faxing or send pictures. So if you are going to send data like that, you would have to have, everybody has to have the same grid, and then you just color in the spots.
Well, even in all the games, the Brotherhood is one of the most well-regulated and more well-supplied.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because they have all the fucking, they have fucking the vertebrates, they have the fucking, the blimps, power armor. They're the only faction that actually is able to make power armor. Yeah. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, so then when he gets promoted and he's waiting out there,
and then that little douche has to fucking hand him the maps.
The little douche who hates him the most, who's his worst enemy, beats him up all the time. He hands him the thing and he's like, you're dismissed, aspirant. And he's like, I'm a squire, bitch. I outrank you. And so then they fuck off, right? And because this all happened, in the first episode. So they fuck off.
Well, what's their mission?
Well, their mission. Oh yeah, that's right. Their mission is to find this guy and a dog, which
they even mentioned. They mentioned who they came from, right?
I don't know. Did they?
Yes, they did. That they're escapees from the Enclave.
Yeah, that's right.
Now the Enclave was for me, because Fallout 3 was my first game.
What? You got to go potty?
I'll take a bottle break then.
All right, now that we're back from the pee break, did everybody have a good time?
It was awesome.
What color was your pee?
Blood.
Katie?
Clear as a bell.
Clear as a bell. I didn't pee, so mine's probably just going to be like the color of old Mountain Dew.
I was reading a thing and it was saying that you don't actually want your pee to be full clear.
Yeah, because then
You're getting rid of the bile.
I know.
doesn't that mean you're like overhydrated?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause you're getting rid of the
light
bile.
champagne.
Oh, I thought light lemonade, like a
Same
light
thing.
yellow.
Tomato.
Potato.
Who the fuck says potato?
I don't know. Anyways,
But I was saying,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because in Fallout 3, one of the main factions that you go against is the Enclave, which is basically the remnants of the U.S. government.
Right.
And in Fallout 3, you actually kill the president. Like, you kill the Enclave.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fuck? When I saw that.
Oh, maybe they're
But I was
still
like-
around.
But I was, I guess the Enclave still lives.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go out and they're flying out.
And the
Knight
vertebrates.
Titus gives no fucks about him, basically.
Clean this.
Clean. He's literally saying, so, you chose this? Was this for like,
Oh, yeah. That was in the second episode, though. But
Was that in the second episode?
yeah. Because I made a note about it because they embark on the vertebrate.
Oh,
at
yeah,
the end.
that's right.
That's how the
right.
episode ends.
That's how it ends. They leave. Well, no, technically, that's
Well,
how their story ends. And then
it
they
goes into
show
the ghoul.
the ghoul at the end of the episode where we have basically some dudes in a graveyard and they're basically
But-
saying,
The junk jet, dude. Oh my god, I was so happy to see that. That's when you see the guard dies from a baby leg. The
yeah,
little doll,
that was cool.
which is what should we call it? Something from Fallout 3 that I used to. Was it 3? It might have been Vegas. I don't know, but it was nice to see it in real life.
Yeah, that was cool. So basically, we got that happening. These guys break in and they're like, okay, we're going to get this dude out. And they know he's a ghoul, obviously, but he's
That's why
like,
they brought the chicken.
yeah, they brought a chicken because obviously,
They don't know if he went feral or not.
obviously, as they say, a feral ghoul can't abide a live chicken. And so basically, they go in, they dig him up, they pull him out, and he wakes up and he's just like, what the fuck? Like,
What about the fucking 40 minutes dedicated to him just cracking a different part of his body?
oh man, yeah, he's just, well, I mean, when you're buried alive, essentially, and you only get brought out once a
but
year.
like, it was a long time. He's like,
Well, yeah, he only gets brought out
Dude,
once a year to
dude,
fucking
he was-
chop off a piece of him.
dude, he was going at it like fucking Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. I mean, he kind of is like Fallout Beetlejuice, I guess. Maybe.
The god of trickery?
Yeah, the ghoul. They're equivalent to that. He does a lot of trickery. All right, whatever. I don't need to convince you. There's like 20 other people out there who agree with me, so that's all I need. I need to
Yeah,
stick
probably
to
the same
one.
people that think the show sucks after episode 4.
Don't fucking say that. Oh man, what if I think this show sucks after episode 4? Oh, I'm so sad. Anyways, so essentially the ghoul's like, well, fuck you guys.
How do you say that? Because for you, this is the job. For me,
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. He's
Yeah.
like,
And then he just fucking kills every single one of them. Fucking great. And then he's like, he grabs the fucking thing that they were looking for, or the poster or whatever
Yeah.
with the guy. And they're like, he's like, all right, cool. And then he walks off into the sunset.
what's
And
cool
then,
too was the fucking that fucking line where he's like, see, in my experience, when it's somebody's last job, their heart ain't in it.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Because he's like, oh, this is the last score wherever you're ever going to need. And then we can retire. And then, like you said, he just kills them all. Anyways, all right. So that was the end of episode 1. And so what I think I'm going to do is, because we've already been going for like almost an hour just on episode 1. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stop the episode here and we're going to do a second episode just for episode 2. And then since you didn't take detailed notes for 3 and 4 yet, obviously, because you know we were doing them today, because we're probably going to go for at least another hour or thereabouts on episode 2, I'm sure.
I did see 3 though, so I'm good for 3.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is if we're going to take an hour for each one of these episodes to go over them, we'll just do one episode at a time.
Okay.
So, and then if it takes us like 20 or 30 minutes to get through one episode, then fuck it, we'll just add it on. You know what I'm saying? So, all right.
You're the boss.
So this one's going to be episodes. This will be the end of episode. Do you have anything else to say about episode 1, I guess, before I go we rock off into the sunset for episode 2?
Kind of, but it wasn't really talked about it in the first one. I did write it in the first episode notes,
Yeah.
but the serum.
Oh, the ghoul serum when he has to.
What
Yeah.
is that? Did we
That's
ever
not
find
in.
out?
That's not in the games.
I didn't think so. I was really confused on what
I know what it is now, but
Okay,
in the
so we do find out eventually what it is.
yeah, but in the
Okay.
games, It's wait, where you guys have this before? It should have already been explained.
Well, yeah, it's basically it keeps them from turning into feral. Like,
yeah,
essentially.
That's not in the games. You're just feral. You're not. You
can't stop it.
There's no stopping it. Yeah, at least in the games. But in Fallout 3, 4, and Vegas in 76, they don't go into ghoul lore too often. So maybe it's obviously now it's canon because it's
because I noticed that he had like a drip line into his like a little grave in there.
Yeah, that was the serum.
That was the serum.
No, I know that, but yeah.
In the games, that is not something that's ever been brought up, at least to my knowledge.
Okay, so I was just wondering, I was like, maybe I don't know it well enough, but I had never.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
I kind of just assumed that that's what it was.
But that's right. But here I just put new ghoul lore to me.
Yeah,
but that's nothing I've ever heard of. Interesting.
Any other thoughts on episode 1? Like, what did you think after watching the first episode? Like, what was your initial reaction?
That's what I texted you. Hey, remember I texted you. I was like, hey, you need to watch it because I don't know if this is the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and I will say, after watching it, I was like, man, this is really cool. I kind of felt almost the same. I was like, man, this is really cool.
It's good or bad.
But I don't know if this is good or bad yet. And so now being obviously 4 episodes in, I do think overall the show so far is great. The internet, as you said, thinks that after 4 it just falls off. But
not all of it.
People.
That's how it was at first. But now people are like, what's the word? Hindsighting it.
Oh, yeah.
And like the internet kind of shifted on that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Katie, what did you think of episode number 1?
My first thought after the episode ended is it too late to watch the second episode?
I did say that too.
Addicted.
I did have to watch
the next one right now.
Yeah, I was like, I do want to see what happens next. Yeah. So I will say,
it's late. I don't care. We're watching it. I'll go to bed late. I loved it.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't know they were Raiders. See, maybe that's why I loved it so much because I genuinely had the element of surprise.
That's true.
See?
That's true. That's probably true.
We didn't say you were wrong for it.
Yeah.
I am wrong for it.
You're the only one punishing yourself for it.
Yeah, you really are.
Myself out hardcore on this.
None of us. No one is calling you out at all. You're doing it to yourself.
I know. I am absolutely calling myself out.
I think it's adorable that you didn't even realize that they were fucking Raiders. But
I thought it was hilarious.
That too. Yes, it was also hilarious. Anyways, all right. Well, I guess we'll end this episode there. We'll do episode 2. Will be the next one. It'll be out at the same time. You'll hear them both. Anyways, if you guys want to listen to us on anything, we're on all the fucking apps. Apple Podcasts. Well, Google Podcasts is about to go away, so that's.
Yeah, what's it becoming?
I think they're just getting rid of it. I don't think they're replacing it with anything. Pandora did the same thing with Stitcher. They got rid of Stitcher, so we're only on Pandora because Stitcher's dead. But anyways, we're on all the ones that you could possibly listen to people
except
on.
for Joe Rogan Network.
That's true. We are not on the Joe Rogan Network, and nor will we probably ever be on the Joe Rogan Network, and probably because we don't really want to be. So
thank you.
Anyways, what if Joe Rogan buys Apple and then we have to take it off Apple Podcasts because we don't want to be?
That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my life.
Man, that would suck. But anyways, if you want to hear all of our other podcasts, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com and you can find our vast menu of podcasts. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, at Game Rage Mag on Twitter. And that's pretty much the end. So I guess we will catch you guys on the next one.
Oh, hey there, buddy. It's me, 1930s announcer guy, here to congratulate you on making it through this episode. As our heroes are getting in their jalopies and riding off into the literal sunset, they wanted me to tell you thanks for listening to their radio broadcast, and should you be so kind as to follow them on some fancy schmancy radio station publication called Instagram and TikTok at Game Range Magazine, and on some other thing called Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also, they wanted me to inform you and ask if you could be so kind again as to visit something called a website at www.GameRageMagazine.com. I don't know what that is, buddy, but you should probably go do those things. And, don't forget to tune in next time to the Game Rage Movies and TV radio broadcast.